In this land, where wine reigns supreme and nature is its queen, a nectar was born, unique in the world. A celebration of freshness, flavour, aroma and tradition. In Portugal, Vinho Verde occupies a prime position in the kingdom of wines, an authentic jewel that's worth discovering and savouring. Wine has always appealed to the senses and is one of the country's most prized riches. With rivers, hills and valleys, the Minho region has produced gems which have become part of us for all time. In the northeast of Portugal, the demarcated region of Vinho Verde is defined in the north by the river Minho. To the east and the south, the mountains form a barrier with the interior of the country. The Atlantic Ocean, with its beaches, limits the region to the west. With medium alcohol content, Vinho Verde is characterized by fruity aromas and a vivacious taste, light and refreshing. The whites have a lemony yellow and lightly golden color. They are wines with a unique and aromatic palate and go perfectly with seafood, fish, meat and poultry. Ideal for accompanying regional dishes, the reds have body and distinguish themselves for their intense color and pink or bright red froth. The rosés have intense fruity aromas, alternating between fresh and suave and a long, intense flavor. The distilled and sparkling Vinho Verdes are equally appreciated alternatives. With their own special characteristics, the distilled wines vary according to grape variety, aging and the raw material used, pulp and wines. The sparkling wines maintain the profile of Vinho Verde, reinforcing the characteristics of freshness associated with an aromatic and more complex blend due to its second fermentation in the bottle. The originality of Vinhos Verdes is the result of the characteristics of the soil and the climate associated with the distinct qualities of the varieties and the growing methods. The principal white grape varieties are Alvarinho, Avesso, Azal, Loureiro, Arinto and Trajadora, authentic symbols of the region and result of the personalization of the quality of Vinhos Verdes. With the reds, the Vignon grape variety is principally responsible for the personality of the wines, but is almost always associated with a number of other regional varieties. In the rosés, the Espadeiro grape variety is the most traditional, with a moderate colour and unique flavours. The mild climate with wet rainy winters and dry summers characterise this region of fertile valleys with predominantly granite soils, ideal for wine growing. But the main feature of the region is the way the vines are trained. The branches that cover the paths and the vines entwined in the trees are a typical characteristic of the landscape of northwest Portugal, a living museum that testify to ancestral methods. On the other hand, without altering the traditional principles of wine growing, new methods of training the vines have been developed to take full advantage of the natural characteristics of the region, improving the conditions for production. It is the impressive beauty of the Minho region that creates the backdrop for the Vinho Verde wine route. To travel these roads is to discover the origins and flavours of a wine-growing culture thousands of years old, and to dive deep into the history of Portugal along 3 proposed routes. The first is an invitation to visit 3 charming towns: Guimarães, court of the county of Portucalense, Braga, the city of bishops, and Amarante, with its beautiful bridge over the river Tâmega. On the second route, from Cávado to Lima, we visit Barcelos, Viana do Castelo, Ponte de Lima, Ponte da Barca and Arcos de Valdevez, all lining the river Lima. From the coast to the hills is the route reaching the frontier with Galicia, where you'll find the charms of Caminha, Vila Nova de Cerveira, Valença, Monção and Melgaço, capitals of the so much appreciated Alvarinho grape variety. The doors are open and the routes are marked out for a journey through the most beautiful landscape in the region, where visitors will receive a quality vitivinicultural reception. More than 60 places to visit, among cooperatives, growers, bottlers, cellars, restaurants and wine-growing associations. The routes are dotted with farms, manor houses, cottages and cooperatives with many years of experience in the flavour of the grape. To visit these houses is a true journey to the richness of the past. Of unequalled beauty, many of these manor houses are today a reference to the quality of rural tourism in Portugal. Each moment spent in the region is heightened by the flavour of the close contact made with nature. But wine growing in the Minho region has been practiced since the times of the Romans. In the 13th century, wine was already part of the habits, the culture and the economy of the populations living between the Douro and the Minho. History tells us that Vinho Verde was the first wine to be exported to European markets, but it was only regulated in the 20th century. In 1908, the region of Vinho Verde was demarcated. Responsible for certification and quality control, the Vinho Verde Regional Vitivinicultural Commission analyses the wines through successive testing in laboratory. A team of specialists carry out analyses and tastings on a daily basis in order to guarantee the Vinho Verde is genuine and of high quality. Created in 1959, this seal of quality is only given when the characteristics of the wine correspond to the products of the region. Vinho Verde is also supported by a wine-growing experimentation and research centre created by the Commission in Arcos de Valdevez. And it is only after being duly certified that Vinho Verde arrives in more than 70 destinations in 5 continents. The principal markets are France, Germany, the United States, Canada and Angola, followed by the United Kingdom, Luxembourg, Brazil, Denmark, Switzerland and Spain. Unexpected and exotic countries also import Vinho Verde, and these include Qatar, the Cocoa Islands and New Caledonia. Looking at the map, there are people who appreciate Vinho Verde in all 4 corners of the world. Refreshing, young and light, the wines are a source of pleasure. They can be drunk as an aperitif or with modern gastronomy, revealing young and versatile flavours. The passion, liveliness, colour, flavour, aromas, an explosion of characteristics that have great impact and leave us with a desire to have more. Vinho Verde, there's nothing like it.